Hey, hey, hey. Oh, look at my hair all a mess. I wasn't expecting to come on like that, so I apologize. What's up, everybody? Metaphysical Mama. What's up, Twin Flames? The sun is like so bright, so I was like, I'm battling with it's like, sun, you're too much. So I'm having a really hard time getting some camera. And I was trying to get on before I got knocked off Facebook, but didn't work. I don't think I'm meant to be on there so often. So what's up, family? My hair. Okay, so we are going to do something quite fun today. I have some pretty cool. I already let me flip my camera around here because I think it might work better. Might work better the other way. Because we're going to do a twin flame reading, and I already have 2 stacks of cards here. I gotta be kidding now. So, okay, this is the Divine Masculine pile. We have Moldavite. So Moldavite for Divine Masculine. This came popping out of my, stack of Mama made cards. It's 11/22. Oh, it just changed when I brought it there. So look, we have Divine Feminine, feeling stuck. Aquarius. So we have Sun, Moon, or Rising Aquarius, or maybe you're dealing with Aquarius. We're also in an age of Aquarius. Also, Aquarius is very electromagnetic and water and air waves. So pass it right, storming through. So creating movement and rags to riches. So I just wanted to share that to start off. And we have black tourmaline on the bottom of the deck. And that's the collective energy. So I'm going to start reading that just because that's like our whole twin flame collective and, well, just the collective, whatever that may, right, contain. And then for Divine Feminine pile over here, I have Chrysocolla. So the stones that we're starting with, like I said, Divine Masculine, I did mental space, right? Divine Masculine, mental, we got Moldavite and 37, which we could break down, simplify also to a 7. So we're going to read, that. And for the emotional body of the Divine Masculine, we have Oralite 23, which is a number 24, which we can also simplify to a 6. Today's December 14th. So today is a day 8. It's an 8 day. If we include the year, it's a 13 day, which we can also simplify to a 4. And Chrysocolla happens to be a number 4, and that's the Divine Feminine mental space. And Divine Feminine emotional body, 42. There's another 6. Kumbaba Jasper. So we're going to get into that. Let me just get you situated here. Maybe this will be an okay spot. First, I might have to heighten it up a little there. This might work. And then I also have these really great deck of cards. I might have to do a separate reading with that one after, but I thought that might be fun to do too. It's, the layout of the deck. So let me move this newspaper out the way. Oh, sorry, I'm not as organized as I wanted to be, which, I promise once we get into the reading, it's going to be better. Okay. It's like, stay still. It's not cooperating with me. Not cooperating. Come on. Work with me. Spirit energy. My goodness. Always make me look like a freaking fool on here. Like I get it, and also my holder just broke, my other one here. So this is like I really have to do a whole balancing act. All right, I think we might got it. Okay, so we're gonna start with overall energy being black tourmaline, and this is just kind of the it's a number one overall energy of the collective vibe, just to tune us in. And welcome, Soul Tribe, Twin Flames, Metaphysical Mama, 606 in. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you would be so kind, and share. Okay, so black tourmaline represents protection. So we're all being protected right now. So don't have any fear in, things that are appearing. There's a lot of threats and ultimatums, and there was a big bust yesterday too, a slave ring. So once one card falls from that house of cards, you were going to see a lot more come down in multiple forms, in many different versions and what have you. And sex and slavery go hand in hand, and money, gambling, addiction, desire, these the urges, these surges. So I guess that's being brought up because again, a lot of that energy, it's like dirty energy, like dirty money, dirty electricity, dirty. Well, it's just dirty energy, right? Dirty electricity, dirty vibrations, just bleh. It's stagnant. It's not fresh, moving, clean water full of clarity and electricity. It's polluted. So let's see. Tourmaline protection. Black tourmaline absorbs negative energy and affords excellent energetic protection, enhancing your physical vitality, which I don't know if you can all feel that, but I sure need a little of that right now. Self-understanding, right? So I feel like I'm constantly being siphoned off of, constantly. Whether my crown, my roots, like I'm just totally depleted. And then it's like when people ask how we could do things, it's like I'm so high vibe energy in the I guess crown chakra, but that's like our crown's being attacked, right? There's a virus of the crown. It's been hacked. So when they're feeding it's into the stream, they're polluting everything. That's what we're all feeling. So this goes in many forms, and a lot of us, use these things way too much. The cell phone, the computer. Look up Masamoto and the water vibrations and what have you. Look what a cell phone does to our bodies, just holding it next to you. So it's not to freak you out, right? But it's but have awareness so that we're not, why would you, it's like blowing holes through you with cannonballs. That's what it looks like. It's 11:29, 11:11 twin flames. So I mean, just we want to make sure that we then turn these things off. We just want to become more aware a little bit, and how just awareness is important. All right, so let's see. You are adaptive, adjusting to new places and new situations. You have clarity of thought and analyze situations rapidly. Rapido. Let go of overcautiousness, but stay protected. You sense it when people wish you ill, right? When the intention ain't matching the care package. And we don't need to be gifted. When those, beware of those bearing false gifts, bearing gifts, period, really. And what's the whole commercial part of Christmas about, right? Bearing gifts, making deals. Oh, look what I did for you. So there's a lot of time, there's an intention behind it. It's not just celebrating those that we love and our Christ consciousness and being in balance, and it's Christ Mass, the Mass of the Christs, when we're in that vibe all the time. But do we always want to be like, oh no? Sometimes it's like, oh no, I just want to go I don't always feel like that. Sometimes I want to be in listen to like my rugged music and like be working out and like and grungy, like, right? Like, so how many different ways are we able to express ourselves? Does that make us bad? No, we find healthy outlets to do these things, and that makes us pretty freaking awesome. Remember Lego 2 movie? All right. Let go of overcautiousness, but stay protected. You sense it when people wish you ill. You may be carrying a family or a past life curse, creating disease. Recognize that negative thoughts and actions harm others and yourself, right? Key words. You may be carrying a family or past life curse that's creating the disease within you, right? Which is just, think of the word dis-ease. Think of it. What is that? It's like Christmas or heaven or Santa or God. What's the idea or the image in your head that shows up when we use the word dis-ease? But it's like, if I'm not at ease, right? At ease, soldier. If I'm not at ease, at peace, I'm at dis-ease mentally. It's funny how many very brilliant beings I hear speak of so many mental things, but many do not regard the emotional body. That's like the shadow, right? Darkness creates light. Light makes a shadow. But the shadow is attached to the light that was created from the original triple darkness, right? There's different darkness layers, right? So when people think like the shadow part's the dark, it's like, well, wait. That's like, that's just attached to the light of the being. It's right. That's well different. So once we start to like kind of put ourselves into perspective, so we're coming from the right trajectory, it's 11:33. That's the place to be, in the sweet spot. All right, recognize that negative thoughts and actions harm others and yourself. Divination. Strengthen your protection, consolidate plans, and be realistic. You'll soon see the way through obstacles. Ensure you are well protected. Ill wishing or envy may be directed your way. Anybody feeling that? And that's okay. It's just like, it's like with anything. It's like if everybody's trying out for the lead part of a play and the person that gets picked, everybody else is going to be, right, a little jealous. Or, right, when people like my bridesmaids go create cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to catch the bouquet. Then they got feelings of some kind of way, I think, right? I don't know. Or, somebody else gets picked for a job. It's like we have feelings of like, right, feeling a little slighted or not, or feeling like, blah, not as good. So those are just things that we have to get more used to dealing with, not like get used to it, meaning there's a kinder, gentler way through these things, because it's not always our day to shine, right? It's like sometimes it's okay, and it's actually very healthy to see another perspective or let somebody else, right, take a swing at the bat or take the lead in the play, even if you know that you were better or that you knew somebody else was better and should have gotten the part. But it's like, but you know what? Did that other person maybe need that for their growth? So are we able to respect that? It doesn't have to always be about who's the best. It means who's the best, who needs that spot right now in order for spiritual growth or some kind of emotional or mental growth or some kind of growth in the confidence of the being, right? It's like allowing someone else to have a turn, which how many adults have actually truly learned that coping mechanism without feeling slighted, without causing turmoil, chaos, and having to come up with some retaliation backup plan because they decided to stick their hands in the cookie jar because of the feeling. And then they want to ignore the feeling that they overreacted to in the first place. And then now what? Now we're going to blow up a bunch of more asteroids in space because we're going to keep ignoring the problem? No, we're going to deal with it. It's like, what cards were you dealt? What did we make choices doing with our free will, right? So it's like, no. This is where we're dealing with what comes out in the cards. We're not going to pretend like, right, go fish. No, we don't have that. 1616. Okay. Ensure you are well protected. Ill wishing or envy may be directed your way. Neutralize bad, right? Dirty, just say dirty energy. Dirty, negative, right? Staticky, out of tune. It's like, again, don't give them that much power. Like, oh, they have some kind of power. Bitch, they in between stations. They static. They're static. It's like it's dirty energy. You ain't clear. You're coming in real fuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? All right. Watch your thoughts. Attend to practical matters. Be generous and give others freedom. Is that not the best gift we can give? Freedom and love, time and space for others to feel, get out of this feeling. Why does everybody feel this way? How many people do we have around us where their word sucks, or the way that they treat people, places, and things sucks? They make lots of false promises, or, right, they have a great idea, but then it doesn't pan out, right? The Lord and Pan. Now we're in a pandemic. We have Anu and it. I knew it. The big blue sky and the sun over here. Like right when we tilt this way in the sky, it's blue during the day, like right now, which is 11:39 a.m. It's still morning. It's not right eve yet. We're about to switch over to the next sun at noon, right? The noon sun, which flips to PM. Military, police. Many things. Right, healing insight for Black Tourmaline. Neutralizing toxic energies from your environment. Shielding yourself from ill-wishing, or EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, stress, and detoxifying your body supports well-being. Frequency, earthy, chakra, earth star, and base. Timing, Capricorn, right? And be Capricorn involved. Capricorns can be like, again, it's like also they're missing a little microchip, some of them there. Some of them are the elders, right? Running around with the kids. So it's like they don't have that, myself included. We don't have a certain memory of ourselves, right? We're like, right, we all guys with amnesia. Gods, goddesses, whatever, right? The divinity in us gods and goddesses has been forgotten. It was erased. It was not, right? So we gotta have a human experience. So as we're awakening back into our divinity, dead means not awake, not aware. So as we're rubbing our eyes and shaking off different things and coming to, right? That's the awakening. The resurrection crew. All right, soul path, appropriate energy, shielding and enhancement. I think I already said that, so I apologize. Repeat. Right, also the word religion, like right, was that from Perfect Storm, Stephen King, right? We are legion. So, and is like reverse, redo, reinstate, right? Do it again, around, or backwards is ER, right? Emergency room. So there's a lot of things, right, like that they use in order to manipulate energy. And it may sound crazy, but it's not, like what I'm saying. It's literally, but so, and then it's also right how something works one way unconsciously, and then how the consciousness, right, matter works, right? Uranus. The symbolism of Uranus sometimes look like two, like almost like half moons, and like, or like a little spaceship, like right, with the circle at the bottom, kind of. And then the other symbolism for it just looks like the sun sign and Mars together, right? It's like Mars and the sun, like we're just on the blue sky. Like when the atom is split. And the sign of the earth should be a circle with the sign of the cross in it, a positive sign. The cells that are unawake within the physical human body still is a cell with like right, like the 11. I had to remember to look up this last name yesterday because it was a lot to do with, like, if anybody wants to check that out. So, but the cell, so we've had, like, right, there's a positive and a negative within the cell, like the two masculine atoms, right? So it's like this is chaos until the two come together as one, right? Chaos comes into balance, or like the yin yang sign, right? And now don't forget there's that little hair in the middle. A rabbit in the hair. Or the hair, right? The DNA. And then two, if they're trying to ignore the feminine, the two atoms say, right, like now they want to blow up the asteroid. Asteroids are feminine emotion. So when the atom is like, I want to be on top, right? I want to have the power. It's also afraid of the other, right? And also, first two magnets are going to propel away from one another until they come back toward one another at high speed velocity and then create the Big Bang, which then creates the circle around the two, fusion, right? And then this is like, right, the ring of fire. Nice. My squigglies. So we're dealing with lots of different elements, right? And then also Mercury. And Uranus also sign of it's vinegar and matter. And vinegar is very cleansing. So bacteria produces life, and bacteria is also like, ew, but bacteria produces life, right? Like shit is fertilizer for our grounds in order for our soils to be rich and produce, right, good fruits. And that's having to do with the earthly ground. Now, when we bring that into metaphysical context inside our own garden of our own body, it's 1144, our temple, right? The physical vessel that enshrines our soul. That's a little much and heavy, but I mean, it's the truth, right? So it's like our physical body, it's like when you apply that, relate it like Einstein, everything's relative. Whatever you can relate it to. How is it wrong if you can relate? You can relate to it and it resonates, you're vibing. And that's all, you're existing. Isn't that what you need to do? What else should you be doing? You should be worrying. Wait, ready? Look, this says worry right here. Should you be worrying about if you're right or wrong, or that's the right way, or, you know, as far as like, right, if you've done good in your heart and you're following your, right, You're in your lane. You know, when you're driving your car, it's like, yeah, I was in my lane. I'm driving. I'm paying attention. Everything's, you know, right? You're a witness to what's happening or within and without, right? And in and outside around you in the environment. You know, don't let what television is dictating to you dictate who and what you are. You're listening to the box. Remember, Seth said, I bet you can't fit in this box. Many, many fell for it, right? We all do. And everybody wants an adventure too, right? So, anyhow. And also, I want to, well, I'm going to get into this later, but this is the Sophia Code book, Sophia. And I had opened it today too, and it's funny, well, it's the 14th aspect of the key code. I am the one who destroys the demons of the past. So it says, I now recognize, well, yeah, I now recognize and activate, and today's the 14th. The 14th aspect of key code 3 within me. I am the one who destroys the demons of the past. My unconditional divine love for the one body of Sophia Christ guides me in all ways. Therefore, I am willing to embody all wrathful aspects of my divinity. Karmic ages have no hold over me. I walk with the earth in alignment with a divine will that prospers me in all ways. I confidently destroy all attachments to the past that keep me from living heaven on earth. With the fierce sound wave of H-U-M, I proclaim the good news of my sovereignty across space and time. I am rooted in the present moment and consecrate the lightning realizations of my higher self for the liberation of all beings. So it is. So, you know, that's for a reason that right? It's like with the energy is always moving in motion and coming through in different manners, right? A water current, a water wave is going to be different than an electrical current or wave. However, right, electrical currents flow through rivers, along with salt water as a semiconductor of electricity. Right? When we had copper and zinc, zing, 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 zing. You all knew that. Right? Like they really Matrix. Anyhow, so let's see. So divine masculine. You know, let's also. And I should have read this one first, but yeah. Well, that was actually good for divine masculine. So, and this kind of applies more to divine feminine, even if it was first. And it doesn't matter whether you're anatomy or male, whatever. You know, me and my daughter, we're like, we kind of all go by they, because it's like, we're not one who the hell's one singular thing? He, she? It's like, why, you know, but at the same time, not allowing too much power, too much knowledge, right? To distract you from who you naturally are within and who your soul is within your own skin. It's very easy to get pulled by, you know, something that looks glittery, right? But we can make nature glittery too. Nature likes to be dressed up too. However, right, but its natural beauty is all on its own. A super mighty, amazing, beautiful pine cone. Golden ratio. Right? Everything birds in a spiral. Right? So the way that we all interpret language, how we speak, right? Like, does any, like, how do we all, like, how are you watching the video right now, right? Someone had to know how to code in many different forms, right? Where I'm on StreamYard platform, which love you, StreamYard, YouTube, grateful, love YouTube, right? Yakub's YouTube, you know, super grateful for, you know, all of the access we have to things, but I also don't overuse things. I rarely have a television set on. The energy is like a lot. All the buzzing is a lot. All the electromagnetic frequencies we're constantly bombarding ourselves with and still wanting to see more, produce more, want to know why we didn't do or have more. And yeah, look up the study, the word Woodward. Yo, fucking love Woodward TV. Kudos to you. So great. He puts really great, you know, really wonderful. If you've never checked out that channel, I highly recommend. You know, he has a whole bunch of different topics. He you know, does his thing with. So yeah, really brilliant, awesome. You know, bright light dude. Oh, don't call me dude. We don't, yeah, I try to like remember all the different, sorry, that was like an offbeat thing. That had nothing to do with Woodward. But my brother-in-law is Guatemalan. And a long time ago, like I'm like hippie chick, whatever, or a whole bunch of different things. But like, right, hey dude, what's up? Like I just said it. Very unconsciously, it just came out. So I didn't know it really offended my brother-in-law. At one point in time, we are, you know, real close. And he was like, yo, don't call me dude. Dude. And I was like, he's like, do you know what that means? And I was like, I like, it's just like, you know, hey you. It's like not like anything offensive. He's like, yo, in Guatemalan, it's the hair on an elephant's ass. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So how did I had no idea. Every time I was using that word, unconsciously I was offending him, right? The different languages that we all speak and how a word can offend, right? So anyhow, now my brother-in-law and I, when we ever converse, we call each other punk ass. So I have never, I don't think ever called him that ever again, because again, he shared that with me. So now I had knowledge of what that meant in a different form, from a different perception of a different walk. And then, right, it was like, oh gosh, well, I don't want to call you, right? I'm not, if that's what it makes you think when I say that, that's definitely not what I'm calling you. So, right. So when we learn to respect one another and make it a game, right? We're willing to listen. 3333. Why a word or name could bring up a very negative vibration, right? Within a person, right? We don't all think the same. We don't all have the same experiences. The feelings that we carry with us and our past and present and you know, who and what we are all very, you know, we are all very unique beings. As many of us and as many person, place, and things as there are, we're all divinely gifted with a different, right, soul, fingerprint, perspective, purpose, you know. But the goal of the whole and of all that is the same and that remains and is untouchable and unbreakable is love, and to be accepted. You know, we all feel good when we do something good, or that some, you know, when something comes out like really great. Well, let me ask this. How much do you remember those times compared to things that maybe were scary or didn't turn out how we expected, didn't turn out well? Maybe we ended up, but that's like, but that memory really sticks out. And we actually can laugh about it now, right? Was it funny then? It's like, you know, maybe we made it like, all right, it's holiday season right now, right? for making a holiday dinner, making a holiday whatever, and having people come over. There's a commercial about that, and it's like, right, you gotta try to time everything. Things get burnt. Something, we mess something up. We forget to add an ingredient, right? Different people are gonna complain about different things. There's gonna be something we forgot, whatever it is, and what it may be. A, B, C, X, Y, Z. How much stress, right? Too. Meow. Oh, ladies. Mm. Sorry, I needed a little sip of my Green Mountain coffee. that I happen to be drinking right now. So sometimes things don't come out, awesome, or we have to, right, do a whole new thing because some shit really got fucked up. It's like, remember the Christmas story? And then the dogs end up eating all the food, and he's like trying to fight the dogs for the turkey, and then they all end up at the Chinese restaurant, right? So it's like you can always make a fun out. It's like, and then you have that memory, right? It's like every other Christmas is the same. Do you even remember them? Unless you got something really great, but how often it's like, do we appreciate when we get everything that we just want and ask for? It's so much more gratifying, right? And it's not ego. It's like, but when we work hard for things, or when there's when there's a struggle, when there's something that we're having to push against in order to get there, right? So does that make us bad? Does that make us have a big ego? It can, but doesn't it also make us like driven, passionate, amazing, freaking inspired, even though we, that wanting that desire to want to achieve and be better than is what makes us better women and men. But we also have to remember to kindly at some point bring it back also, that drive, and right, recalculate, right, recalibrate, re-engage with our soul and our spirit and our emotional body, right? Because that's what time it is now, right? Can you feel it? As the intuitive time, right? Time is fluid. So all is water. So everything is coming into perspective in many different forms, or formless, right? And images in our minds and what have you, that you can see, but you can't really, right, describe in, like, unless we're like how I'm trying to describe by channeling things like through my, right, my mouth, my blah, 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 blah. My big ass trumpet mouth, right? Our mouth is like a trumpet, or right, as we channel information, just like, right, it's we're electrical beings. There's information coming through me. I'm talking into, right, a cellular device. I'm also, right, full of atoms. This is kind of, right, the cellular device mimics, it's like a, right, a mini me. Totally is. It was a freaky thing he did too with the experiment. Like I say, now I'm not going to repeat that. You got to watch that. I'll give him all the credit for that because I don't want to put any as far. But yeah, the cell phones. Do some research. Dirty energy. Just all the electronics. Does it mean bad? No. But how about a lot of this power and extra energy could be in an even flow, right? So it benefits the whole, no matter which way we go. Because again, time is fluid. It's like if there's something in here, it's going to affect this whole thing. They did another study with the water. The water mimics things. It records everything. So there's something had gotten dropped into like a lab, in a chemist lab or a physicist. I'm not sure which kind of lab. at one point in time. And the vial got dropped into and she got nervous, right? Like, oh, scared that she dropped it in there. So she just like left it there and went home. Now it wasn't opened, it was still whole in the vial in the water. So it didn't leak into the water. However, the water mimicked the virus that was inside of the tube that was floating inside the petri dish, the vial, the beaker, how it's called. So, right, metaphysics, but so metaphysics is breaking things down into, right, different physics, different different, right? We bring it into, it's like fishing, fly fishing or fishing. You know, you cast out your line and you got to reel it back in. And then you cast it back out and then you reel it back in, right? Fishing, gone fishing. So just things to relate to, right? 4141. Metaphysics is bringing things into context. So it has, right, numerology, etymology, spirituality, physics, philosophy, mythology, right? Everything comes into play, however which way it does, right? It could be like, right, the amethyst crystal and the flower and the pine cone and the rock, and then we start to, right, and then the rock brings us to, right, the rock. Do you smell what the rock is cooking? And then now we're talking about the Rock Johnson, and right, was that movie, the new one that he's in, Red Code? That shit's really funny. Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. Ryan Reynolds, RR, Railroad, Rolls Royce, right? How many different ways can it, right? What comes up when a word, a number, a symbol, a letter, red, right? Again, back to R, redhead, Woody Woodpecker, north, wood. Who say me? Worm, wood. Beware of the bitter waters of wormwood. What does that mean? When we're feeling bitter inside, what does that do to our own waters? What are we doing to ourselves? What kind of atoms are we producing? Because we produce beautiful snowflakes or, right, corrupt, like, right, and dirty energy. That is a quantum, it's like a snowflake or like the stare of a ship. Reminds me of sun, banana star. So different things, vibrations, bring up different, like, look, right, this food for the gods. This is a really great book. So maybe we'll open something in here as well. So let's get into the this is twin flames. So again, twin flame, right? If you're an actual twin flame, again, Cryon did a video a few days ago. I started listening to it last night and I passed out. He always takes me to sleep. Thank you. He like rocks me to sleep like I'm a little baby. I'm like, oh. Goodness. So thank you for that. There's many voices that have done that for me, and I'm very grateful for those good vibrations and bringing the truth and bringing just real raw. That's like being a good big brother, good sister, good, good family. We aren't looking for shit to be sugar coated. We are just there through it all, right? That's what's up. Rose quartz and Herkimer diamond wanted to pop up. Those are pretty beautiful, along with the black tourmaline. So we'll open that book after, maybe, if we're guided to. Otherwise, I'll do another video later because we're already 45 in. So let's do the masculine. part of the reading. So we have Moldavite here on the top, which 34, we can also break down again to a 7 or simplify. Use that word. All right. Like I was missing one there. So 34, this is the mental space of the masculine, Moldavite. And then we'll get into the pile there. This might be a little bit of a long reading. Okay, so metamorphosis. So the mental faculties of the masculine, right? The divine masculine, which I could feel that too. I woke up feeling very lonely this morning before I get into the emotional part of the masculine, and I carry a lot of divine masculine. I'm a single mom of 3. I've had to take care of many things my whole life on my own and be very independent at a very young age. I had a job, right? A job since I was 12 years old. You know, this is like presently the first time I've actually not had a job working for actual collecting money, paying like through, and that's how I've been guided. And if you're a twin, you know, a twin flame, a lot of us, you know, we have different missions, but a lot of us have been, right, like had to let go of our families in different ways, had to do like, you know, go through some, you know, we'll get into those things another day because this isn't about my personal part of the story. But my personal part of the story is part of my mission, what I've had go through in order to, right, clear certain energies. Like we just read about the, right, black tourmaline, different past, either family or past life, right, clogs and or just disturbances, just stuff. So it doesn't always mean bad. It's like it's like you ever have been, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna leave it, or I can't deal with it right now. You have pain in your body. Yeah, but I have to keep working. So are you bad? The spirit right now, Holy Spirit, is like, yes, stop it. You're bad because you need to take care of you right now. So at this moment in time, you better fucking do it. And that's fucking for real. And you know that because that's why everything's been like, they got a hold on us. So, which is why we've had to let go of, right, people, places, things, jobs, family, money, ways of thinking, ways of perceiving, ways of feeling, going through dark night of the soul, our shadow work, like feeling so alone, but then also knowing we're never alone, right? It's a lot. It's literally like when in Little Mermaid, when she's getting tossed and turned and she gets her legs and her tail, and then she has to swim up to the top. It's like being tossed around in that water, right? Ooh, right? Or feeling stuck in the darkest corner and right, naked on the floor, so to speak, in a ball, in fetal position, in tears, crying, right? Purging. And we're not just purging for ourselves. It's not poor me that you know, we're definitely feeling those things and having, right? But we're also gaining, seeing all these other feeling, all these other, right? The collective, all this immense amounts of energy that comes up, right? Out of the depths of the dead, what has not been seen or been tucked away or been avoided or just been, right, ignored because it's like, oh, got put in a closet. How many things you put in a drawer or put in a closet and freaking forget about? Again, does it make you bad? No, we just forgot about it. Or it's like, oh, we're going to protect something. We put it in a shoebox or we put it in like a little something. And then all of a sudden, one day we clean our house because we finally have time and we go through all our shit and go through our work stuff, or because we lost it all, right? We had to move. Had to get rid of everything. Going through all our sets, like, oh my gosh, I forgot I put that there. It was so important. I made sure I hid it and I forgot all about it. Got so busy with my human life. So again, it's like the things when I reference to, right, like our stupid human blah blah, it's very, again, I do not attach the emotion and feeling and definition to those things specifically. There are definitely some things I still have emotional cords and attachment to that I'm still working through, and that put me in mental spaces of like me, like right, cat and water, wet feeling. My toes curl. I'm like, yeah, no, right? So we all have those kind of things too, right? That, and then it's like we have to remember to breathe, because these are labor pains of Eve that we all go through. Us women are just a little more accustomed to that kind of pain, bubbles. Don't make us better. It just is what it is. And since we've had that experience, we're here to help all others through it. And that's really Leda and Artemis birthing Apollo, right? Pushing through. It's 1212. Woo woo. You see? Pushing, right? Push, push. Each contraction when we're getting like hit with different energetic thing. Again, if people say like astrology isn't having an effect on us, well, most of them are going by, they went to some kind of magician or fortune teller. They're only going by their sun sign, like their physical born day, and they're like, oh, I'm a whatever. And so they tried to figure something out or try to have like, oh, am I going to be with whatever? If you use, I mean, it's like, again, when you're young, if you have an 8 ball, it's like, am I going to date whatever? And it's like, right, maybe, yo, that shit always just said maybe for me, or like ask another question or ask again, whatever. It was like, oh, and still, even if I do stuff ever, I'll test once in a blue moon. It's like, I'll be like, should I or shouldn't I, whatever, like with the angel card things. And it's like, not, what it like, not at this time, or you already know. Ask your angels. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, I know. Because you can't use things for self-gaining purposes, right? So like I say that very lightheartedly, because like I said, when I, even the little times I do, I never really ask specific questions. It's just like even with this, it was just divine masculine mental, divine masculine emotional. I can't, because then I'm trying to bend my will. I'm trying to manipulate. I'm trying to find something out. I'm trying to dig. I'm seeking and I'm trespassing rather than playing with and allowing, asking, right? Like kind of an open, right? Like just allowing the flow to be right, free. Like when we read in here, right? Giving freedom to spirit, freedom to the universal flow of things. I want all of my sisters and brothers and the animals and the right to feel free, not feel constricted by anybody, person, place, or thing. However, when a mother's birthing a baby, the only thing that can happen is constriction, because the baby's being pushed, right, through the birth canal. So the mother's not necessarily mean. She's just trying to get the motherfucker out. And we say motherfucker at that moment in time because the pain is so intense, right? It's like, get that fucker out. I never spoke that way, but yeah, no. But there was a panic in the middle of, yeah, one of like my births. Yeah, a little bit. Because I knew my baby was coming and they tried to tell me, no, 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 no. We just checked you. I was like, no, no, no. Like right now. She said now. Oh yeah, no, now. And then they were like, oh my goodness. And I was like, yeah, see, I told you. Like, why would I? Whoa. Anyway, it was like, oh, but it's like they didn't believe me. Because they used their right before, like a second before that, and they were like, oh, you got a little while. Well, right after, yeah, it was like they touched the button or whatever they did. It was like ding dong dong. 1 2 3 1 2 3, and I didn't, right, so I got to feel the whole thing. So hallelujah. So why do we scream? That's very scary, right? So but then how right? Mary, how happy are we? We're still happy during that. It just hurts a lot and it's scary, right? So, and other people have had other experience, I'm sure, because they make movies and jokes about it all the time, where women really do freaking bug the f out, right? And like, get like butcher shop in there, verbally with their hand in all sorts of ways, right? So it depends. But do they mean that? No, they're just reacting. They're out of their fucking minds in pain and don't have a clue what's going on. They're just, it's like you're not logic at that moment. You're going through what you're going through. You ever been in, or right, men, like there's pain that you've gone through, I'm sure, physically in different ways. So, and yeah, I don't want to point any fingers, but there are many I'm very accustomed to growing up around lots of big grown, amazing, beautiful, protective men. But when they got a little something wrong, oh my Lord, it's like, forget it. And I've been a nursery school teacher and I'm a mama of many. And right, sometimes those big men are the biggest babies, but it's okay. It's because why? They've never been given permission to be hugged or cry or feel a gosh dang thing. So when they do, I don't know, maybe sometimes they do deserve a little bit of extra TLC. Because when have they gotten it? Have most, right? It's like with Trump or whoever, right? A masculine energy is always kind of expected to have it all together, have all the answers. What do we do now? Or can I slight you and come back another time, right? But a masculine, well, many will have to cut the emotion off due to that nature exactly because the probability of someone tugging, the intention's good. However, the idea was great, heavenly, great, good idea. The fantasy was great. However, it doesn't always pan out, right? It's like if you were digging for gold, how often do the miners actually find what they're digging with all those machines for? And when they do, they just want more and more. Hmm. And not all, again, some are guided and that's what they're here to do. That their part, that's the earthly mining crew. There's some that are here to but most of that, like look at an archaeologist when they're digging up a site, like how gentle they are. They're not just raping the earth of it, right? Like whatever, because of right the R&R, the railroad, wanting a railroad, Titanic, Titanic style. The anxiety, I feel anxiety saying that. Mother Earth is like crying. Gaia is crying. They're both trying to birth, right? That's what, so are you, right? Your earthly body is manifesting, right? Think of that word, man. You're a man, whether you have female or whatever have you, that skin that you're standing in, you are existing. You mean something. Very important. I just hit 1 hour right on the nose when I said that. So cute. Please like, subscribe, and hit the belly bell. You know the deal, Tribe Tribe. I don't gotta, but more subscriptions would be awesome to see. the soul tribe family tree. You know, but again, I have very, very like it's like I'm aware we all connect in so many other ways. So where to love that? Woohoo! It's everywhere. You know, sometimes again, we can all feel like that little abandoned, spoiled brat that got left out or didn't get picked, or they picked somebody else, or right. But then there's a lot of other things going on, right? So protection that others are trying to use us for their, you know, their light source, their energy source, right? 1221. So they've plugged in. My plug just fell out of my phone when I did that. So there, I'm gonna leave it unplugged. Their cord just fell out. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. Now they gotta swim too. That's like, right? Okay, they're birds. Okay, so now the swimming. Oh, that's so cool what I'm seeing right now. Thank you, Spirit. Cool vision. So it's like, right, we just dropped the cord. And people are like, great karmics and whatever. But whoa, hold on, right? We're birthing babies. So as the cord is just dropped out of the womb, now, right, the little tadpoles or the little fishies need to swim. And just know that they will, because they know what to do. That's what they do. Right? People want to direct sperm into an egg and tell it where to go and what it should do. But there's a natural vibration to things, right? And so and that's what, right? The way that, again, discernment. So there's no judgment on how life is procreated with spirit. Everyone but when people take, again, are plugging into another's source, because all we're meant to produce life here and produce and co-create and exist in their own unique way. If someone else is trying to impose upon someone else's way, the may, they made a dirty deal at the crossroads, didn't they? So they got those two atoms that are all fucking right. It's like that. It's just, and we all do. We all have different atoms within that are like immature within our skin, not produced, not birthed yet, right? Over the horizon. I pulled the frog card earlier today too. So right now, it's saying like lily pads hanging out on your lily pad, right? The lotuses come up through the swampy waters and like ponds, which the frogs hang out in on the lily, right? The lily pads. That's again like Uranus and Gaia. And so we just birthed baby. This is super metaphysics. I hope you're all following me and having fun. This is crazy, right? This is how my mind sees all the time. Real abstract. It's like I'm trying my best. Right. So it was like, right. So now the tadpoles or say sperm or what have you. So now we just birth, right? Like so bloop blop. So now all these little fishies and tadpoles and little birds with little eggs, little things of life are right. So they all got to swim and make it through the waters. And now they're still connected to the cord, right? Umbilical cord. And the placenta is also, right? Jesus has a twin. So there's a new birth and it always has a twin. Of flesh, of blood. That's different than the one that, right, then produces a shadow. But there's still two that come from the one, but the one, we just all did that together, right? So the single one is still, right, we're all, that's so, welcome to the new world. It's a new world now. What time is it? 12:26. The time changes too because the minutes have gone faster on like 12:25 on my cell phone, 12:26 on my coffee pot, and 12:24 on my microwave. And originally they all had the same minute programmed. 12:26 now. Interesting. I've noticed that though. In I don't know if anybody else has noticed, right, the different lag in time, the different. That's also separating of timelines, like what we just did, right? So okay, so then the separating of the two, which we allow to happen naturally, right? Because this is then how we, right? When they say Sophia yal dabaya, but we didn't know, right? Right, again, the placenta is a whole nother. It's like, right, the octopus also. I just stepped on something right on my heel, left heel. A little rock, a little tiny pebble rock. Okay, so Moldavite, Metamorphosis, which we kind of, before we even got into reading this, we just metamorphosed into, we just DNA upgrade. This is, right, lightning codes. This is light codes that we're going through. These readings, energetic readings, channelings are timeless. Whenever you come here is the right time for you. Whatever resonates within you, allow to resonate and just keep, right, like into the water. This is like, right, highest of alchemy. So we're using the energy that's coming up to produce neutrality and clear lines. We just want clarity and free, right, free energy, freedom for everyone. We don't want anyone to feel constricted or stuck or not good enough. Everyone's loved, accepted, and is worth the existence that they're participating in, right? It's just right now judging self within one's own skin is the observation station. Nation. Education. Arc, the golden arcs. Okay. Metamorphosis Moldavite was created when a giant meteorite slammed into Earth some 11 million years ago, fusing like the meteorite stone, the power of the cosmos with that of Mother Earth. And this is the greatest, like, rock ever. Stone. Self-understanding. You are a child of the stars and find the environment of Earth heavy and inert. Right? Yo, divine masculine, it's a lot of Mars, definitely. Yo, right? I mean, if you're relating, it's gonna be okay. You got rose quartz here too. Protection energy. Breathe. Moldavite raises your vibrations with in-flooding cosmic light so that you feel more at home. You are on a search for the inner grail. Awareness of your divine origins, right? The rising of your Christ consciousness, right? Allowing that solar panel to shine, baby, shine. Release ingrained beliefs to make way for spiritual metamorphosis. Woo woo. This is like a big birth. What's that? December 14th. Ophiuchus, right? So, yo, happy birthdays. Happy birthday. It's a very merry birthday to me. To me. It's a very merry birthday to you. To you. All right, divination. Detach yourself from mundane issues, right? Shut the fucking TV off. Don't look at stuff that's giving you worry and negative thoughts and feelings. It's like you're just drinking more and more poison for no reason, unnecessarily, right? Find peace within yourself, right? Our health is our wealth. We have to start with self. And it's very tricky, you know, to give ourselves that permission to keep reading. We have to keep reminding ourselves to put ourselves in there, put ourselves in that position, go back in, breathe, allow things to flow. again, right? Aquarius energy, right? It's like, right, allowing things to flow out, allowing things to be let go, right, out of the solar plexus, right? And having I think above your head, like this kind of like a disc that's spinning, right? A filter, so that nothing invasive is able to enter into your living waters. And anything that does just goes and out forward, right? Forward, never straight, and just gets neutralized, right? Crystal caves or ultraviolet, right? Blue flame. Twin flames. Okay. You are going through a spiritual transformation, so dramatic changes occur as you reach beyond your limits. Talk to your soul to check the outcome of present actions. Transcend time, right? Swim through it. Time is fluid. Avoid sowing seeds of destruction. Fertility and good fortune await. And so divine masculine, divine feminine doesn't mean like, oh, that's for the boys and that's for the girls. No, this is just the different energies that we're more, which we all vibrate both in. So it's for all of us in the whole, and whatever, again, however it relates, it could be vice versa. It could bounce back and forth between the two, vice, right? So however it goes, however it applies is gravy for you and I, right? You and I verse. Okay, I need a seat. Oh, excuse me. Okay, let's see. Healing insight. You are far more than a physical body. Harmony at all levels creates your well-being. Frequency, earthy and high. Chakra, all up to the highest. Timing, Scorpio, Pluto. So, which is right again, getting rid of a lot of the black till you're protected, and it's just destruction, destroying any obstacles in the path to clear the way, right? For the baby, swim. We're that baby. You're that baby. Swim. One big swim. Swim, motherfucker. Swim, motherfucker. Swim. Swim. It's like follow the current that you're in. Swim, right? While being still and breathing and clearing. As it's a mixed mirage of things. Mishmash. Applesauce. All right. Soul path. Integration of the physical and the spiritual. So awesome, divine masculine. And also for, again, like our soldier boys, so to speak, and really divine masculine that have had to carry the weights of the world and shut their, hearts off for so long, right? This is very important, and it's okay. And I want you to know that you're surrounded by, right, like loving mom energy, the divine feminine that truly does give a fuck, does not want you to be distracted or lured and, right, pulled by a manipulative force to take your crown jewels, whether which one you, right, what's in your pocket, what's in your wallet, what's in between your legs, what's in your whatever you right, whatever, right, which way, that is not right. So, but also don't take advantage of the divine feminine, because the divine feminine isn't the one that's been playing on the emotions of, there's a lot of right mix ups, right? Buttercups, Reese's. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so we also have Oralite 23, which is representing the divine masculine's emotional body. So we just had the Moldavite metamorphosis. This is the mental faculties of the masculine, and right, understanding, understanding. This goes beyond knowledge. This is how we're right gaining wisdom, Sophia, not just right I want to say biparticles, but right, a side piece, and that doesn't mean of the entity. This means of the way that we think as a people, what that means, and never do we want to single out a person, place, or thing. It has to get broken down into the micro, right? Omicron, the little O energy, the little dot of where it originated, the root, right? And then it expands into its many things. We can't hold something and label it and be like, you're that and you have to hold it, right? And that's not, that's not, that's what's not real, and that's not okay. There's an original entity of it and a specific energy, right? And then, right, many names are carried, right? That's why we are all they, multidimensional, spiritual light beings in a physical body, right? We're not just our physical body. So the vibrations that we all are and contain, right, are much more than just a name. And that's why, right, the Christ says, I am. It's I am whatever I am in the now moment. I don't have to, right, be, it's all of these things, and right, and they kind of flow through me and then they leave, and then another thing in the next moment, right? So many things at the same time, still being me as an individual person that is existing and vibrating, right? Tricky, but also simple, right? Keep it simple, silly. Mwah! Sealed with a mwah. Kiss. Keep it simple, silly. And then say something silly about yourself. Learning to laugh at ourselves is mucho bueno, right? I mean, that's like one of the best medicines we could give ourselves, to laugh. A lot of us forget how to do that. You know, we big stick up the ass. Who carries the sticks? Who'll be walking around carrying sticks? It's like, yo, you guys need to loosen up a little. My friend tells me about a story of sticks. Like, once we put all our sticks together and tie them up into a bundle, it's called a bundle of, right, faggots, then we're unbreakable. So if somebody's walking around with their stick kind of sticking out, right, or holding on to their wand, that stick, it's like, well, they didn't want to participate in the team. They wanted to be, right, and one stick is very easy to snap. It's not bendable in the wind. It's not being fluid with time and the change that we are in. We don't want this. I'm so sorry. I just had to snap you for like an example experiment. Ugh, I liked this stick. Just how it was. Anyway, it's like this reminds, I got this little twig that I was given by Mama Earth. Reminds me of the story of Hansel and Gretel when they're trying to fatten up, Hansel and Gretel in the cage, and Hansel keeps putting the stick out, so the witch keeps feeling the stick or the bone, and she's like, "You're not getting fatter." She's all upset because he's not getting nice and plump so she can eat him. It's not working. Can you relate? We're about to go through a cosmic gate. Twin flames. All right, Oralite 23 is the soul connector. Let us read. Now, this is again masculine emotional body. Self-understanding, you are a multi-layered soul on a course of accelerated spiritual growth. Whoop whoop, Lana Cosmic choo-choo. You came to Earth to share your knowledge. You have an ability to move between different dimensions to anchor new vibrations into the Earth plane. Go, go, spirit soldiers, go. Right, anchor that shit in. Grid workers, ley lines, dragon lines, dream lines, jing, 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 plug in. We're about to raise the vibration. The slowness and seeming impossibility of this task have brought disillusionment and discontent. I feel that. But do not despair. It's okay that we're all feeling that. If you feel that, I woke up feeling that way. I woke up, yeah, yesterday, last night, felt very like a lot of discouragement, a lot of worry, a lot of definite worry, a lot of like threats being thrown around in the ether, astral plane, etc. Especially threats on the children, our children and stuff. If you're picking up on that, I don't appreciate that shit. And yo, shame on you, and just let light be shown on you, whoever's doing that shit. Let that shit, let there be light on it. So yeah, no nice. But it's like, again, they just need to say, yeah, timeouts. Shine the light, bang the drums, make as much noise over there. We ain't gonna be silent for them. Dum 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 dum. All right. Raise your own consciousness and others will follow. Divination. Recognize that you are an integral part of humanity. Center yourself in inner peace and connect to your higher mind before making a decision. Right? Sometimes we don't have to make a decision. We just need to take the time when we're feeling chaotic in our mind and overwhelmed emotionally to take a few seconds to remember to breathe. Right? So when we do that, we automatically are engaging with spirit and our breath, the first duality, right, of when we exist. Okay. Center yourself in inner peace and reconnect to your higher mind before making a decision. And also, right, to go back to the decision thing, right, like at the crossroads or devil or what, right, like look how they're trying to enforce a decision upon people and make it look like they care. That's force. That's rape and molestation. That's force. That is very against all principality. That is against all principalities, all universal law, all. That is against the all. That's treason right there. What else you want to call it? You're trying to force upon innocence when you're trying to force people out of fear to make a decision that you don't have any awareness of what the outcome is after, instead of just allowing nature to take its course and being part of the harmonic vibration rather than trying to control it and control a narrative and make it say what you want it to be, what one wants it to be. It's many different things, right? Mainstream isn't always the way to go, right? Like a pool, when there's too many people up in there, it gets real nasty, right? Only so much chlorine. Or like a jacuzzi, right? It's like, so different bodies of water. After there's too many other physical bodies that are, the flesh holding other bodies of water, they're bodies of water too. We're all a body of water, right? Your astral body, my body lies over the ocean. Your etheric body, your astral, the astral plane, where is that? My body lies over the sea. Right? How many bodies do we have? My body lies over the ocean. So bring back my body to me, right? I want our pieces to come back like in waves, in breaths, gently with grace. We don't got to freak out and go chasing them. They're naturally gravitated magnetically, gently right to us. All we have to do is be it in each moment that we're in, or remember to settle ourselves down so that we don't become over emotionally reactive, immature, codependent, addictive, alcoholic little motherfucking satanistic devil rats, rabbits and hats. Remember that? Ribbit. Okay. Oh, what that all just was. We just, I just went loop-de-loop there. All right. Beneficial contacts come through friends and family. Yeah, yo, definitely. Things are getting cleared, and we're about, yeah, we're gonna connect with the angels and the ones that we need to. You know, again, it may come in any form. So don't get all like, oh, you know, somebody may ask you to do something for them. And, you know, because you said yes and you went to go do that for them, now you met somebody upon your travel that was the key to the thing that you were looking for, that you needed, that you've been going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs trying to get and couldn't figure it out. And now because you did something right, or of service to someone else, when we give, we receive. We never know how it's going to show up, right? Secret Santa. That eye is always watching. And right, the watchers, the watch, the clock. I mean, think of that too, right? The watch, the wheels on the watch go round and round. The watchers watch the clock, because that's time too. Time is also a measurement of different things, right? So different vibration of what time is. Time is fluid. Time is money. Money is time. Time is energy, and time is fluid, right? Change the perspective in our minds. Time is energy. Time is fluid. Sounds much nicer, doesn't it? It is not so much what you know as whom that counts now. And that includes higher beings. So we just want to, again, right, take off all the extra rags, the rags to riches, the extra weight we're carrying around, the extra layers of shit, emotional baggage, right? Our cloudy, fuzzy, staticky, dirty electricity, mental faculties that are all glitching, glitch. We got to open the heart chakra, the center of it, right? The dot in the middle of the circle. The sun sign has a dot, right? Omicron, the little dot in the middle of the bigger circle around it, right? Okay. Healing insight, aligning to as above, so below, as without, so within, leads to a sense of rightness and immense well-being. And I say that a little different. See, I say it reverse. So within, so without, as above, so below. Because it's like, as we're responsible for the breath we take, where we let it out, and what we make it to be, right? With the feeling and the thought and the intentive energy, right? So it's allowing ourselves to go through things, but then what we decide to actually shoot out, and right, we don't want to plant right, dirty seeds, like not nice seeds. Is about fertility. So we want to, right, bring, good seeds, plant good seeds, good thoughts, good feelings. Like, okay, just going to leave that with love and total, and let it be. And then keep swimming to the next little seed, the next little thing, right? So frequency exceptionally high, chakra, soul star, and stellar gateway cleanses and aligns all. Beautiful. Timing, Aquarius, can't make this shit up. Soul path, reconnection of ego, soul, and higher consciousness. Whoop, whoop. Connecting all the dots, right? We want everything to be connected so that we have an even flow. All right, so let's just see what else we have in this pile for Divine Masculine. I did not even see. So Divine Masculine, Soul Journey card. We have purpose. I know what I am here to do. And how about the determined purpose has already been done, and now the next one is to learn to let go of all the things we thought we know. Doesn't mean that they're not going to be there. Doesn't mean they don't matter or they're important. The purpose was fulfilled. And now you did a good job. You can, right? Rest, restore, regenerate, and breathe. Your health is your wealth. And the emotional body needs to catch up with the mental self. The soul and the spirit need to be allowed to come in, and the inner child to be, right, given nurturing, time, space, importance, right? That's the twin that we've all left behind once we were born in our, right, from our mother's skin. This is the second birthing of Adam and Eve. So we get to clean our slate. We rebirth from within. This is the resurrection, death and rebirth. Whoop, whoop. So good, guys. And so we have strength, right? So being gentle with ourselves. Dark night of the soul, definitely in dark night of the soul energy, having to do shadow work. Can feel like, right, walking through the dark forest all alone. But you're with, right, the mother and the daughter and the animals, never alone. There's many spirit guides to guide you. This is where, right, it's trusting to find your spirit guides. They're saying, this is where you need to trust because you're going to develop the growth of your soul through the trust of your spirit guides because you're trusting in the divine feminine, in the spirit, which is within you, where you find resonation, true north. That's how you know it's true. So you don't have to know where you're going. It's like when a fish swim, they just know they're going in the right direction, right? Wherever they're going, right? They're following the flow. That's how any animal knows what it knows, right? It's just in vibration, in harmony with, right? So coming back into vibration can feel a little uncomfortable. I'm there too, right? Coming back into our skin, feeling, giving ourselves allowance to feel things, right? But that's at your own pace, in your own time, at your own speed, with your own breath, with your own needs. This is where you take control with divine masculinity, but not so much control where you're great. This is where we let go because we're being aware of. So, right, divine masculine has the intellect to have awareness that, okay, right, like teaching somebody how to drive, like they may make a few mistakes, but right, I gotta let them, right, let them fly. I gotta I've taught them what they know, and I have to, right, trust that what I've taught them is going to be enough to, right, let them go, and then they'll grow upon what we've taught, and right, and how we all teach one another, right, all the teacher, master, student, all at the same time, right, because we're all these things at the same time too. Scared, afraid, strong, right, have a purpose, but then don't know what to do, right, feel like Bambi lost without a mother, right? So connecting back with the divine feminine, very, very important. Losing the divine feminine, losing the mother, losing the lover, losing love, right? Creates a blocked heart. So allowing that to resurface gently, right, is an art. We're polishing the stone. Okay, let's see. Self-care, indigo angels. Right? So you're not a demon. Demons are also angels. It's finding that in between our divinity and our human and our, little child that's afraid and our big, masculine self and all the different parts, right? It's self-care is very, again, this is where it's at right now. Very important to allow your intuitive emotional body and your spirit and your soul to grow and be nurtured right now. And that's being the divine masculine too. Like I said, so many awesome masculines within my life that are such awesome mentors and have such big hearts. They may not always be nice with their words and their, but because they don't know always how to use, they don't always have the right tools, right? Sometimes they just need to, right, somebody to hang out with. Ride the wave. Number 14, Osiris. Up out of the grave. And there's like there's a person on that whale, right? Mysterious star system. So ride the wave. It could get rocky, and then you're always gonna find, right? It could be a lot of fun, scary, and you're always gonna find a calm. And when dolphins are around, we're safe. How do they communicate? Sorry, take a sip of my coffee. Okay, so we also have grounding, divine masculine, emotional release, right? So grounding to Mama Earth, allowing yourself to feel. This is so great. And growth. How lovely, Spirit. Like, I didn't even look at this pile before we did all this. Like, how all the stuff that we talked about just to confirm all that, like, beauty. Like, oh. And right, he's nuts. See those little acorns in the middle there? And see the seasons or the elements. All right, this is like master alchemy, or all these, allowing all of this stuff, all this stuff. And then here we have the right feminine. This is Eve, emotional bodies, Eve. So we want to love our sister, our daughter, our earth, the ocean. That's Oshana, right? She cried, right? The ocean creates the clouds. Clouds come and rain down, rain seeds upon the earth, right? Many different ways of growth. And we're in fall right now, autumn. So this is nice too. And there's 4 acorns here, right? Doubled. And whatever you have on one side, there's also on another, whether we see it or not, right? So you can see the orange, but then there's a black leaf with a pear, got a pair of nuts too, right? These nuts. So seeds of fertility, right? Who runs the world? Squirrels. Us crazy nut girls. It's a wild world. And that doesn't mean, I didn't mean that's not just girls. It's like, yo, being loving, that right, feminine, understanding, nurturing to one another. That's a feminine aspect. So that part of our being within us is what makes us, one of the things that makes us fucking, right, Amazon amazing. Okay, so now feminine, we had, isn't that funny? I shuffled the deck without, I know we had Kumbaba Jasper. Isn't that crazy? Well, maybe we were supposed to switch in the middle of that reading. Oh, and Chrysicola. Well, which ones am I supposed to read, Spirit? I feel like this is so great for Twin Flame right now. We have the black tourmaline and the rose quartz and the Herkimer diamond out as like amazing. And turquoise was under the Chrysicola before, 39. And that's very, very Sagittarian and mama to me. That reminds me of my mama, turquoise. Indigo, turquoise. And tomorrow's my mommy's birthday, her physical born day. Happy birthday, Mama Sue. I love you. We've all been through a lot together. No matter what, it's all love, because it's a balancing act no matter what's going on. So I can't pretend I know too much or too little. I just send love. We got soulmate making an appearance here, and Ahote also, and lapis lazuli, and labradorite, and halite. So Let's see, number 4, chrysocolla. I seem to have, you know, like when you wrap gifts and you put the tape down and you lose it? That's like what I'm doing with my book right now. It's right in front of my face. It's like usually that, literally, it's still open on my desk in front of my face. I'm looking all over for it like a ding ding. Isn't that funny? They say, where's the best place to hide something? Right in front of our face. So I just want to quick, because look, chrysocolla. Where'd you go? Oh boy, here we go. So divine feminine mental space originally came out with the chrysocolla card, crystal number 4. Here we are. Mental space of divine feminine. Self-love goes with the divine masculine, learning self-care. So that works very in combination, right? The atmospheric pressures and changes and mixing that's going on there. Very beautiful, because self-love, masculine, self-care. So giving permission to feel, while feminine is giving permission to love herself and not, and right, like let the mental space have a little more dominance, right? Know your resources, know how resourceful you are and what you're worth. Okay. A lot of people don't like it when there is someone that is assertive that says no, or that we won't give them an answer to something that they want. People are going to have to learn the word no. And we're not going to keep making deals to make it sound good and just say so, because that doesn't make our word golden. That makes us a piece of shit. Right? That's why, again, the world, America, is in such deficit. Yeah. We can't keep making promises that we can't fulfill. So even action transaction, Jackson, right? Sexual exchange, sacred energy exchange between you and I that creates master alchemy, not leaving pollution in the water, a virus, something distasteful, pissing in the water, spitting it, right? It's like garbage and polluting the water, not giving a fuck, or just saying something just to appease and patronize somebody, right? So this is where self-love and self-care is very important, because it's very hard to learn to say no and mean it and not allow others to put us in a position of forceful, and then say that, oh well, we consented. No, you're no. Fallen ones. That's This is about self-love and self-care, and we don't go there. We're not playing that game. We never did. We were just allowing time and space for growth, kids. Right? It's like, contraire, mon frères. We said we said a long time ago. Please do not mistake our kindness for weakness, because that's not nice and that's not so. And how rude. That's why we just have to let go of those that are not coming from a loving, kind place. 144 in, and it's 104. 14414. Wow. I just stood up. I'm happy to see that we're still running. Okay. So, tranquil and sustaining, chrysocolla encourages you to remain serene and strong during change or challenge. Dissolving destructive emotional programming, right? Like I have to keep like blocking whatever this tech thing is that keeps popping up on here, just because it's like tech troll robots and it's rude and annoying. All right. You have infinite. Oh, wait. Chrysocolla encourages you to remain serene and strong during change or challenge, right? Remember to breathe both ways. Dissolving destructive emotional programming. right? And mental, right? It's like haywire, fizzling out all over the place, chaos, right? Dissolving destructive emotional programming, it increases energy assimilation. I'll hold it up for you. All right. Self-understanding. You have infinite capacity for forgiveness. Love yourself, divine feminine. And as masculines too, this is to, right? To love yourself. If you cannot accept yourself, oh, wait, you have infinite capacity for forgiveness. Oh, yes, love yourself. If you cannot accept yourself, you cannot give love or accept the love of others. And that's the truth. People want it, but they're not coming from a place of pureness. So then they're just wanting, they're desiring. It's like, I want that in the store. I just want it, right? It's way different. That's very immature, emotional, immature, codependent behavior. To heal your emotional black hole, connect to the universal love that is inside of you. It never runs out. You can then give love out to the world and receive it in a never-ending flow. We were just saying about the Aquarius vibe, right? Divine feminine, rags to riches, right? Just let go and love yourself is very important right now. We deserve, right? So to say we deserve, sometimes we feel guilty about saying that because we're so busy, because we are so forgiving and understanding. It's like, well, I understand how I feel. So we sacrifice ourselves constantly. It's important that we love ourselves and regain our health is our wealth, our energy, that never ending resource that keeps running through. They all have it too. So we have to let go. They know what to do, but they can't do it unless we let go. Right? It's like with our children. We don't want to let them go to school, but we have to. It's like, but we got to let them go. We got to let them go. They get a boyfriend. We're like, I don't know. But we got to let them go sometimes, right? It's like my daughter's about to go on a trip. It's like different, anxieties and things that come up. It's like, but again, like I said, I'm also aware that there's a lot more going on than that. So again, just to shine light on wherever that is surfacing from or being born from, fizzle that out and just neutralize that, please, because that's not nice feeling or thoughts and energy at all. Kind of like how they're talking about, right? Like again, when Adam and when a masculine mental idea decides that one knows best for the whole, that's a very dangerous place to be coming from, because that's one saying that they have all knowledge and power and that they have been given some kind of, special. And it's like, well, hold on a second. Okay, since you're saying that, please do tell. We'll shine the light on you and give you a microphone as well. Where's the source? Where's the origin of the source? All these things come from. Let's go right there, right to the origin of the root, right there. Now where the dis-ease is and blocking the path, we want to go beyond that. We're pushing through past that because we're clearing those paths of emotional blockages within the body. It's like big fat blobs of scar tissue and fat. There's no need for us to be carrying all of that. Not when we have one another to relate to and to clear those paths, because nobody deserves or wants to feel like that. There is an easier, kinder, gentler way. We just have to say we're willing to go through it in any way. And be willing, and then it's not going to be as bad as we think. You know, our first negative thoughts and images in our mind are like the most creepiest, like, whoa, It's like, well, hold on. Once you are willing and say, okay, spirit, it's like, great. You take a big deep breath and we're gonna be brave. And we say, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then it's like, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Right? We somehow make it through. And we may even gain a memory or two, right? 111. All right. So we also had Kumbaba Jasper for the divine feminine emotional body. What was that? 24, I believe. Nope. Nope. 42. I had it backwards. So Kumbaba. It makes me always think of Humbaba. Humbaba. And we had the woods card, the forest card in the masculine over there. Oh yeah, Kumbaba. Can't believe I shuffled the cards like that and just like. So here's the Kumbaba. Really cool and beautiful. I want to just absorb that energy. 111 still. Divine feminine emotional body. Ancient echoes. So you got ancestors and spirit coming through. Kumbaba Jasper attunes your personal biorhythms to the natural cycles of the planet. And that's of your natural cycles. We all have a different rhythm, right? So your natural rhythm. This crystal also facilitates deep clearing of your karmic body and the ancestral line. Whoop, whoop, how divine. Self-understanding. When you live in your head rather than the physical world, your cellular structures become unstable and your metabolism is thrown off balance. Oh, I can relate. I've been up it's like my head is like the big freaking Cosmo. I feel like my feet have just been like following behind, metaphorically speaking. I'm exhausted from being in my mind. Yeah, okay. Anybody relate? Flying high again. It's like somebody grab my feet. I need grounding. Earth crew. Anchor my ass. Just grab an ankle or two. All right. You may be assimilating oxygen or nutrients such as minerals and vitamins. Yeah, make sure this is big detox time. Drink water, drink your water with lemon, drink tea. If you can, drink some tea with burdock root, or if you prefer Irish sea moss, they make great, sea moss and elderberry, the sea moss and burdock root mixes now. Comes in powder form. You only need a little bit. You can even get them if you don't like the taste like me. I'm not big on the sea moss taste. I feel like Annie, the movie, it's like, why do I smell wet dog? So sea moss it's like wet dog to me. So I have a very hard time getting it past my nose when it's in my tea, coming wafting up into my nasal cavities. I'm like, oh, but I try to be a big girl and take it. But I got these because I feel like I need it sometimes. So yeah, organic supreme sea moss with bladderwrack and burdock root. Really good. Dandelion root, roasted dandelion tea instead of coffee is a good alternative. You could put a little agave in there. That's very high alkaline, electric. It's electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie. You could dabble a little cinnamon in there because that gets your metabolic system going. Also, I always put cayenne in my tea, whether it's a fruit tea or it depends. I love lemon ginger tea with cayenne. The dandelion root tea is good with cayenne too. But the dandelion roots, I don't even put agave. I don't really like it with the agave. It's sweet because it's roasted. So I kind of like that just as it is, or maybe with a little bit of honey. I like the honey a little bit better in the dandelion tea than I do the agave.
and that. The lemon ginger, I like my agave. So anyhow, um, and they also make what's the other one I got? Irish sea moss and elderberry powder, and it's like vibrant purpley pink. It's really pretty. And you only need a little bit of that. So boosting your minerals and your vitamins, especially in a liquid form, because your body absorb, liquid, and when the spices are in powder form or in like our body absorbs it very nicely, right? Our body's like woohoo. Um, so Mother Nature and our bodies know what to do when we listen to them. We just get very clouded and clogged up with a lot of that static electricity, that dirty, that dirty energy, and negative thoughts and feelings. It's very easy to get wrapped up in emotions and feelings and thoughts of ourselves and others that suck, right? and, but it also helps us to appreciate the beauty and the pain that we go through, right? I mean, or then when we see the ones that we can trust. And then it's like, thank you for that lesson, assholes. And we love you. And we know you were there to teach us something. So we're going to just leave it at that. And totally, it is what it is, because that is what it is. It's like, thanks, big brother, for teaching me that disgustingly nasty lesson. Oh, tag, you're it. Now somebody else. Throw the ball elsewhere. Marco. Polo. All right. Ancient echoes. All right. You may be assimilating oxygens or nutrients such as minerals and vitamins. Remember that ideas are nutrients too, right? Or an idea can lead us or be poisonous, or an idea can lead us into a fantasy island of expecting, where then we're in purgatory in a waiting room, waiting for our wish, our idea to come true, right? So we have to make sure that we don't get too fantastically wrapped up in Santa's gifts, right? Because that's how heaven, right? I have an idea. It can be heavenly, but we can get stuck up in that, and then we forget about, right, our responsibilities and our family tree and etc. So there's many different paths that can take us to different, right, cloud nines, clouds, etc. Where time is disrupted and is right. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk hanging out in the above the clouds in this like other realm, right? Again, in the waiting room, being stuffed in the waiting room, and we think we're about to get something good, but right, you're gonna get a shot or something. I don't know. So yeah, it's like, yeah, we don't need to do that. Our bodies know what to do. We have to remember that it's like, wait, why am I sitting here waiting? Duh. What do I gotta do? I gotta change a thought, right? Get into the groove, right? Make change a thought, move a direction. That's how we make movements while sitting still. Sometimes it's just a matter of our, right, playing with our will. We allowed ourselves to get stagnant, stuck, and something that seemed really good, or maybe it was really good, but now it's not really serving us anymore. It's not really feeding us that energy that we need to vibrate in a right high harmonic vibration. So it doesn't mean we don't love that anymore, or that we're not part of that, or that's not what we're not grateful for what that is that made us who we are now. It's just, right, sometimes, right, we got to be born again. We have to, right, kill that, come out of that, and go into something else. We have to rebirth ourselves again, find something else that we're passionate about within, so that we're more high vibration. And it can be sad when people, places or things, when we leave them or they leave us, or we have to separate and go a different direction. But it's like not always and forever. It's like, again, just for a little while. Sometimes it's like, right, we get bummed out, like, oh, you have a different teacher than me. Think back in school. It's like you wait over the summer to find out your new teachers for the next year, and you hope you're in the same class as your best friend. And like for me and my best friends, it never worked. They never put us in the same class. It was like, oh, we just knew it. you know um We got disappointed too many times, and we were like, well, if it happens, it'll just be a really cool surprise. So, stuff like that. Life's full of disappointments. How we handle the disappointments is what makes us strong, graceful, beautiful, amazing, inspirational, fucking passionate, determined psycho beings, right? Mixture of everything. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Disruption. Oh, so remember that ideas are nutrients too, right? Thoughts are things, right? Disruption of your autonomic nervous and immune systems may be caused by ancient traumas and family dramas. And ain't that the truth? There's a lot of repeat narratives been going around. So it's not about conspiracy theory. It's just about, again, who's judging a book by its cover? I'm not coming from a conspiracy theorist. And if you want to call me that too, okay, because I'm not part of the mainstream. I am coming from outside the box, right? Because I'm asking others to take a look at things and be willing to see things in a more open-minded manner so that, right, you and I and all of us become more fluid together. So we're not crashing all over the place. We're learning how to swim in a school, right? Fish swim in a school. Doesn't mean we need to all be at the same place in the same time. It means we all swim together and we go with the flow. And we just know which way to go because our intuition directs us and tells us so. Sometimes it's like, just stay still. You need some time to heal. The divine, right, mother is speaking to you through your soul. But a lot of the time our here, it's like, we have to go do this, or somebody's expecting us to do that. I gotta go, mom, right? Same as we talk to our mom going out the door. You don't know anything. I gotta quit it. You're such a it. I think I was very not nice to my mom growing up. I will say, I apologize. I don't remember, obviously, but I'm sure my mouth, I know. I grew up in a family of not very nice mouths, but 122, I know that my mouth, that's a lot of the reason too. I think I went out of my, I didn't stay living with my family for a long time since I was very young, because a lot of toxicity, it still is. And it doesn't feel good to be in a toxic environment where others are toxic or angry or, right, always yelling, always negative, always yelling at you, calling you a name, or saying something that's not nice, or acting like anytime you talk you're a bother, anytime you ask a question you just want something, right? So it's like those kind of, it's like, why do you want to stay around then? It's like, well, that doesn't feel real good, so you know. What do? We got to swim away sometimes, right? Even though, that's not what others think we should do, or what others are going to think, whatever. Sometimes we gotta, again, right, self-love. We have to take care of ourselves no matter what others are saying or doing or whatever. And if you take a look back, say, at your life, right, take a look back in time, if you've had somewhat of a relationship with your family, like I just kind of briefly said about mine, or whoever, right, it's like, or any kind of relationship, right, sometimes we have to detach from things. And that's happened to me in many different relationships. I just use that as a, and I love you, family. It's just like, right, I gotta use personal examples, otherwise, I don't like talking about other come from the right I am perspective, because it's been my experience. And that's what I can speak about. That's real, raw and real, right? So when we go through different relationships and we have to detach and what have you, a lot of the time, people could have, right, said nasty things about us, right? They cast their shadows on us, just ignored us, right? They like to use us as their gossip column, so they're feeding off of us energetically, when they're with others. It's a soap opera story. So it's whatever. And we sometimes go and come back and like, it's like, do you like my hat? Did we do better now? And they're like, no, you still have to go jump through these other hoops. Or I don't know, da, 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 right? So we get all these other, so we go jump in and there we go again. So this is called being, right, the black sheep or the scapegoat also. Or, right, the class clown, the sacred clown. Or again, the rebel, the sacred, the one that goes outside the box, which could be looked at as the devil, but is it? Scapegoat is also the sacred rebel, the clown, the fool, because it's not the sheep that's just following in line, right, with the herd, probably, getting fattened up really good, right, with the from the witch, making sure you eat really good to fatten you out. The scapegoat and the black sheep ends up being the stronger one in the end. And as we keep going down all these different lines and go all these places and go through all this shit stuff, when we come back, say, home, has anything really changed there? A lot of places you can come back to, it's like, oh, it's the same old thing. It's the same. Right, same. That's the same. Of course, there's change, but is there change in the pattern of behaviors and like and what have you in the beings? It's like they're still in that, right? So like so now sending love to those person, places, or things right now is important because it's like they've kept, say, it's like the oh, I hate to relate it like this, right? But to be grateful for, like, while, say, black sheep scapegoats are out doing the whatever, getting looked upon as like either evil or bad or drunks or addicts, or right, bad, or right, bad ones, or whatever, right, rebels, we're right, or whatever, just the different, right, 1% or whatever, 5%, however, right, the black sheep. Now sending love to the rest of the herd because they've been holding up and keeping everything stable while we've been figuring out all the abstract stuff and how to get through all these different, right, hoops. It's like, right, like everybody on, if you watch a game show or right, America Got Talent or whatever, right, any of those, which I ain't supporting none of that, but whatever, it's like, right, different people make it, different people say, and then people are judging them for things, etc. So normally our families are the ones that, right, sit home and watch those things on TV and they're judging everybody while we're the ones that are, right, getting up on stage like, I don't know, right? But they're holding everything together. They're the glue that's keeping the solid ground together, stabilizing other things. So they deserve also to have self-love and be given the tools that we've acquired along the way. And right, it's like, hey, this is what we've learned and we can't do it for you, but we can certainly share it with you and, right, leave space open for you, like an AA room. The door is always open. All you have to do is be willing. And when you're ready, little by little, you come. And that's it. It's all love, right? For everyone, because everybody's held a different part. So if we're like, oh, but they did it. See, now we're coming from better than because I did this and you're this because you didn't do this and you should have done that. So we had expectations because we had labels attached to family names or person, places, or things, right? We had a belief system, a stem attached to it, or a, right, a feeling, or a, so now self-love, self-care, we're giving ourselves permission to go through these thoughts and feelings and, right, allowing, right, it's like, hey, want me to show you something new? And then, right, don't we also just like the calm grounding of like, look, this is what's been going on, here's a meal, you could just sit quietly, we don't have to. That would be nice, instead of others wanting to take our family, right? Or blackball us from them. It's like, whoa, we all have different parts to give here. Instead of judging one another, shouldn't we allow one another to breathe and have freedom to live. I mean, that would be a nice, like, if we're going to do an overall collective Christmas gift that keeps on giving eternally and infinitely forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I'm the end. There is no end. And then, you know, I mean, yeah, never ending flow. It's like, you know, and when times do get rough, they're gonna. But there's always a tool somewhere hidden in all the shit. We just have to be creative to find it and use it to our and the greater whole's advantage so that we can show everybody our shit, like how to get through it. It's like, oh, wait, and then pass the tool. It's like, why do you want, like, oh, no, I'm going to hide the tool. And then if you want to know, then you got to pay for it. Ha, 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 ha. Get the fuck out of here. That's so rude. It's like, why would I want any of my children to lag behind? Or it's like, why would I take joy or pride in seeing any that the destruction of another, right? Like of another, the pain, like, you know. All right, divination, getting in touch with the ancestors and understanding the processes of creation helps you to recognize the value of recycling the past to create a more potent future. And that's what the fuck is up. Check out what has passed down the ancestral line and utilize homeopathic healing for miasms such as tuberculosis or miasms, miasms, such as. So check out what is passed down the ancestral line and utilize homeopathic healing for miasms such as tuberculosis. Okay, so again, we're just talking about minerals and nutrients and right drink. Like again, Mother Nature provides. Is like just, and doesn't mean go grab everything that we all like suggest, or it's like what resonates within you that you might need. You may need to get some sovereign silver, right? And take some drops of that. Not colloidal silver, sovereign silver. You take the wrong one, you can overdose and hurt yourself. Sons, right? Oh, I got an idea. Perfect. They said blah. Wait. Did you resonate? Did you allow that? Like, is that what you want to eat? Is that what you need? Like when you go to order food, do you make somebody else pick for you all the time? Do you don't know how to order what you don't know what you need, what you're gonna put in your mouth, what your body is like, right? Craving due to what it needs nutritionally, or because, right? It could also be because when we're in being driven by the gut, by the solar plexus, well, we don't know how to digest a lot of information. We're being driven by a parasitic force by the digestive system. So the little parasites get hungry and they're like, hey, feed me, Seymour, feed me. I want. And then you want a burger or you want, right, something to fill your belly, something to make you feel emotionally, substantially full because the emotion or, right, not knowing what to feel, not knowing how to, or by ignoring it, see, that's what's not real. So then everybody keeps feeding themselves like a fat farm, right? Emotionally overeating or drinking, indulging and binging in alcohol, food. It's all the same thing. Turns into sugar, blows up the body into a big balloon, right? A puffer fish. But that comes from codependency and emotional immaturity, right? Boys trying to be men, girls trying to be women and wanting to be moms, babies having babies. And when I say that, I'm speaking of adults. I'm not just talking about like little teenagers that shouldn't be, right? Like, no, I'm actually very, very much so of human beings that should not have had children, that should not have brought a child into this world, that had no business doing so. Yet. Why? Like there's a story, which one is that with I think Gilgamesh, and he gets tricked by Utnapishtim, if I'm saying it right. And he's like, oh right, the secret plant under the sea. Well, if it's growing at the bottom of the sea, that's something that's being birthed. If you pull it from its roots, right? Like I think that's a lot of that sea moss story that I haven't really looked up yet. But again, that's you're uprooting something that was growing that was going to be born. That's like stealing one of mama's eggs. So, right, because somebody listened to another man, oh, that's what's going to give you immortality. And you went to go get it's like, well, wait, you went to go steal an egg from something or right, uproot something from its roots in order to avoid something that you naturally needed to go through. Right? People paying for information. Again, people that say like astrology is bullshit. It's because, well, were you trying? Did you try to get your fortune read? Were you trying to like set something? You wanted to know something about your future? Like, am I gonna have a husband? Am I gonna have a wife? Am I gonna have what's gonna happen with this? You're trying to get a crystal ball reading. That's a way different thing. That's not what it should be being used for. That's why you're all fucked up to begin with, trying to call fucking right a kettle black, and you don't even know how to fucking boil tea or read the tea leaves. It's like, hello, it's complete science. That's our blueprint, our fingerprint from the gods. That's our soul's natal, your birth chart, because we're made of the stars and the periodic table, the elements that our earth is made of. So having that information, your natal birth chart, not just knowing your physical born day and being like, oh, I'm a Taurus or I'm a Scorpio and this is whatever. No, that's not what that means, right? So you have to know your moon sign, your internal sign, and your rising sign, your ascending sign. Your moon sign is your emotional about how you're intuitive about how you feel, how you truly feel inside. The sun sign is like the light bulb that's right, like the shining so bright. Like when I started the video, you're too bright, sun. Too bright. Right? You can't go by that one. Knowledge is power. It's too bright in the day. How do you feel at night when you go inside? When you go home in your moon? Ah, you get to take off your shoes and relax and take care of you. And your rising sign or your ascending sign is how others see you. So those can be very conflicting. So, but once you have that perception in, it's like, okay, now that can make a little bit more sense of the skin that you're in and how to apply those things. But it takes time. It's a science. And it's like, I'm not an astrologist. So I've never had my chart read still yet, because I won't do that until I'm with there's a few people I have that, have twin flamesies that have been floating with us all through these few years, carrying me vibrationally, that I would absolutely love to have eventually do my reading with me, as far as like, yeah, just because that's like their vision, their how they're able to see literally, that's their language, right? So it's like they're going to see things that I don't see. It's like I just kind of popple through stuff as far as, right, like the charts and what that all means and like which houses and it's again, I can't even remember all the terms to all that, right? There's quincunxes and squares and it's like I try to remember, it's like nope, doesn't stick with me. Which house is what? Nope. And two, that all means something too. What signs, what planets, and what you have in what houses, because each house, right? 12 houses, right? 12 zodiacal signs. You have to go through the whole wheel as part of us, not just the little piece of pie that we were ejected into this, human vessel, into the human world, and right, there's a lot more going on in there. Not just one thing. The fuck? All right. So, healing insight. By changing how you view things, you dramatically improve your well being. Whoop, whoop. Frequency, earthy, chakra, base, heart, alta major, and casual. Timing, winter, and soul path. Reconnecting to ancient wisdom and the roots of being. So beautiful. And let's see, divine feminine. So we got those. And then we got Herkimer diamond and rose quartz. Just at the beautiful. And don't forget, we have black tourmaline, super protection goings ons. You know, how low can you go? And I'm not going to probably read Herkimer diamond and rose quartz, but I will. Right, Herkimer diamond is, well, let's do it. Instant energy. Powerful energy generates that access and release. Wait, powerful energy generators that access and release past life information. Herkimer diamonds make excellent shields against geopathic stress and EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. This crystal works beyond the physical levels of being to bring harmony to the energy bodies and the soul. And I still have a pile here for divine feminine that I'm going to read. So let's see, self-understanding. Keep careful note of your dreams. That card kept coming out too. As they reveal the underlying causes of your disease. You hear that? Keep careful note of your dreams, twin flames. Whether you're awake or when you're waking up and remembering a few things, like jot it down. I have to remember to do that too. I'm saying it out loud because I have to remember too. I'm not always good at writing it down. As they reveal the underlying causes of your disease. Actually, I woke up having one this morning that was kind of gross and weird, and that makes a lot of sense. It was like a vast of urine. I think that there was something like with urine, which again, it's like I have to empty many bottles of urine daily. Sorry, TMI. You know, but again, we all help each other in different ways, but that's not necessarily something that, like, yeah, I applied for. But, you know, again, it's just what it is. So yeah, but yeah, I'm sure there's a reason for that, and yeah, many more. So if that means anything to any of you or any of you, right? Solar plexus, yellow, again, yeah, sunflower, solar plexus, crown chakra, corona. Make sure it's really beer in your bottle there. All right, keep careful note of your dreams as they reveal the underlying causes of your disease. You may be particularly sensitive to EMF frequencies, electromagnetic frequencies, radioactivity, and detrimental earth energies. You may also be physically sensitive and need to clear a blocked third eye. Big time. And that was a big thing yesterday too, cleaning and clearing the third eye. Kalima, that kept coming up. Yeah. Divination. Check that you are not living on a negative earth energy line. You may be addicted to your tablet or mobile phone and receiving detrimental vibes therefrom. Y'all hear that? Oh, and it's 1:44. Do y'all hear what I just said? You may be addicted to your tablet or electromagnetic equipment, right? Your phone, your cell phone. I was just watching a thing on that too, right? Addictions come in all many forms. Again, Woodward, TV, watch that. He did a really good little doc on that. Yeah, you know, it's important. Shut that shit off. Take a break from it. It's gonna not feel good. You're gonna feel like you're actually withdrawing from something, literally. Yeah, it's good. And also that's to relate to all the beings that everybody says is drug addicts and alcoholics and whatever too. Is like many of the addictions in different ways, right? It's like claiming which ones are yours, right? Our shadow selves, parts of our shadows is very important. Because otherwise we lost all control anyway. I need a blunt. And I know I rolled one. Where'd it go? Hey. What's happening? We 2 hours and 22 minutes in. Okay, I don't know. Check that you are not living on a negative earth energy line. You may be addicted to your tablet or mobile phone and receiving detrimental vibes therefrom. Screen yourself appropriately. Healing insight. High vibration, high impact energy can dramatically change your world. Bear with me 1 second, I have enough. While I'm doing a video. Maybe you can find the blunt while I finish the video. Yeah. It's a whole full one. I didn't even light it yet. Just like 2 minutes. Let me just have to roll another one.
Freezing. But I'm wearing that material that.
Oh, you look adorable. I am on the video, yeah. You look beautiful. My daughter looks sexy. Sexy Maxi. Okay. So frequency is extremely high. Chakra, all timing, spring and soul path. Seeing the light. And then I'm going to save this one for the end. Let's go through the divine feminine pile. Let's start from the top. I saw what it said on the bottom there. I didn't mean to. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. That's a pretty one. And that could be in a negative way too. Again, sometimes we're learning strength in ourselves. So sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know why this person's in my life. But it's because we maybe have to learn something about ourselves, right? So we got to stop blaming the person, place, or thing and take a look, right? What is it we're feeling or going through inside that we need to take a look at? Why is something bothering us, right? What's going on? Oh, 5 of Swords. When that's what's going on, that came out yesterday too. It's so annoying. Paint the roses red, or I'm gonna cut off their heads. Queen with the crown said. They're all scared behind her. You better get a shot. I said. Oh boy. All right. So 5 of Swords. So yeah, see, dealing with when people feel you're cutthroat, right? Or we don't have a decision. Like, oh no, you're not allowed to whatever, make your own decision, right? Again, the card for right emotional, mental, divine feminine, self-love, right? So coming from the place of self-love, even if somebody looks like they're about to cut off our head, or that they done some nasty shit, right? Friendship instead. Obviously, this was in our life for a reason. This person needed to learn love. Unfortunately, right? It's like what, and we probably volunteered to be that catapult. Look at again, love yourself. So above everything else, we're gonna send love to that too, right? Because again, they're trying to hold on to thoughts and feelings, right? Swords. Look at how she's holding on to those swords. And the crown. It's like, nope, they're mine. I'm not letting them down. And you see the other one I'm holding? And there's a shovel and 2 swords behind on the ground. Right, so cutting others down. So love yourself above all else. Woohoo! Thank you. Goodness. I don't know. Into the unknown. We just found the blunt. Look, it was look at like right there, rolled up there. We just found it. It popped out from the interdimensional unknowns. Number 7. Right, so going into the unknown, love yourself. We're going into we're used to again protecting everybody, right? Divine feminine, It's like we can take a lot and we forgive. And so we're always like, it's okay, take on the weight, self-sacrifice. We don't need that. We'll just do without, blah, 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 blah. Right. So this is when we gain strength from loving ourselves and we go into the unknown, because it's going to be scary to take that leap and trust, because we're so used to having to help everybody. So it doesn't mean that we're not going to, it just means that we're going to learn to love and help ourselves first, right? Sexual energy, divine feminine, right? Which again is sexual, is sacred energy exchanges. So, but it also could mean some, like, you know, maybe some super spontaneous loving intimacy with the divine masculine is in order. Could be. Number 25, another 7. And what else we got? Divine timing. But don't rate again, just allow whatever that means for it to mean. We want to be connecting with all of our sacred energy, right? It's divine ancestor and stuff. So, but again, love, passion, etc. comes from, right, unknown places when there's a lot of chemistry. And but you don't want to just share that or give that to anybody. Then that becomes non-sacred. Then it just becomes, right? And the word intercourse again means talk. So for people to be able to have a conversation and allow the emotional body and the mental faculties to calm down, so we're coming from a more clear place, that right there is the best sex that we can all have, because then we're not making such a mess of all of our waters by getting confused on, does this mean that, or should I, or shouldn't I, or da 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 da, right? It's just like allow ourselves to go through that. Should we or shouldn't we? And again, a lot of time we don't need to make a decision or an answer. We just need to be there in that moment. And again, and then that energy will kind of do what it needs to do and turn into whatever it needs to turn into. Neutralize, right? Is like we just have to get through it, breathe, right? Take an emotional risk, like they said in Yellowstone the other night. She's like, nope, Dad, you're going to ask another man a question and take an emotional risk. He wanted to ask her and her soon-to-be husband to live in the house because he felt lonely in the big house. And she's like, well, I have to sleep with, I'm going to be with my husband. That's where I belong. My place is next to him. But if you would like us to live in the house, then you need to ask him, and you need to ask him, not tell him, because he's going to just be like, okay, if you tell him and come in a dominant way, of course he's going to. But ask him and then respect his answer. That's a different thing, right? That's taking an emotional risk. Asking someone for something that we feel not so, right? We're feeling a certain way, right? Lonely. So, or we need help. How do we ask for help? It's a very scary place to be, to take an emotional risk, right? And that's not codependency. That's like after we've gone through our divine, right, masculine intellect, we're going, and it's like, all right, sometimes it's like we're reaching, we need, it's like we need some assistance. It's okay to ask for help in those moments. The problem presently, and that's been going on for so long, is those that are just giving and offering help out of different, right, with false intentions, false profits, wanting to profit off of others, you know, again, so that's the toxicity. So we have divine timing and new day. And we'll end with the rose quartz energy. Number 15, the 6. Unconditional love. How fitting. Self-care and self-love. Rose quartz is full of unconditional love and infinite peace. It draws loving relationships to you, heals past emotional traumas, or provides support during a crisis. Self-understanding. You are a beautiful soul who has infinite peace, deep within, and enormous empathy. Relationships are where you learn your soul lessons. Right? Oh, I pulled a friendship card too. So nice. Relationships are where you learn your soul lessons. Heal heartbreak or abuse and dissolve toxic emotions and pain that prevent you from giving and receiving love, right? We want to clear the path and just breathe through it and just ask for clarity, right? It's like obstacle, move. Mountain, move. Bitch, move. Get out the way. You have power to love unconditionally and to support others. But we don't want to just keep giving it away so that we're drained. We all do have that, but it has to be equal energy exchange, right? Sexual energy exchange is sacred. Not, oh yeah, well, hey, can you just do this for me? And then, yeah. And then we're depleted all the time. And then somebody else is like, and then we're constantly wondering how we catch up. We can't catch up, right? What did the mama tomato say to the baby tomato? Remember from Pulp Fiction? It's like one of the only jokes I can ever remember. Catch up. And I find it very funny still. Pictures I see in my head when I say that is very funny. Divination for the rose quartz. All right. Forgive yourself. Love and beauty approach. Loneliness is at an end. Emotional blockages dissolve. Do not accept blame. Recognize that unconditional love and friendship draw exactly the right people to you. Once you love yourself, you can give and receive love from others. Support is available in a crisis. Those are good words to hear. And remember that, right? It's like when it looks like there's no path, remember, right? We're in water. Right? The path may not light up. We may not be on the yellow brick road. You don't want to be stuck to the yellow brick road. If you're in the water, you're good. You just want to swim. Right? No ceilings, no floors, no walls, no doors. All right. Do not accept blame. Recognize that unconditional love and friendship draw exactly the right people to you. Once you love yourself, you can give and receive love from others, and support is available in a crisis. Sorry, I read it twice. Twices. All right. Isis. Healing insight. Unconditional love is the greatest gift that you can give to yourself or another. And that doesn't mean we have to put up with everybody's bullshit. It just means we're going to love ourselves to stay out of the toxic poison stuff. And we're going to send love. And we're going to be of service when we need to be, when we're guided intuitively. And other than that, we got to start with, right? A, B, C. Rich is right. Me. You got to start with you. From the internal true north spot, right? Otherwise, we're already lost. Right? Frequency, medium to high, depending on clarity. Chakra, heart. Timing, Taurus and Libra, and soul path. Radiating unconditional love. So that was beautiful, twin flamesies, divine masculine feminines, and I so appreciate. Oh, look, we got selenite. That reminds me of my nana that just came in. 21, and Flint under that. Spark in the dark. So please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I so appreciate you, Soul Tribe, Twin Flames, whatever. We don't need no labels. One love. See you next time. Thank you. Black one more user.